Chapter 2. The night Lucy ran away, Charlotte and Iris were camped out in the living room, watching the old Betty Davis movie Jezebel. Charlotte had made popcorn, and she was trying not to cry as Betty Davis sacrificed herself to take care of her married lover, who had yellow fever, and when the credits began to roll, Iris sighed and said, "They don't make movies like this anymore." Was it worth it to die with the one you loved the way Betty had? Charlotte wondered, especially when he wouldn't even know it. Did people really fall in love like that? She never had, and it made her a little sad. She was so awkward around boys. She could never think of what to say or do, and when she blurted out something about a movie she'd just seen or a book she loved, the boy usually just gaped at her and moved away. Who was she kidding? She was awkward around girls, too, and she was lucky she had her friend Bertie to hang out with. Charlotte turned off the set. "Your sister's late again," Iris said. Lucy was home less and less these days, and even though she had an 11 o'clock curfew, she never kept it. No, Lucy made a show of going to bed early, and then 2 hours later, Charlotte would hear a noise and look out her window, and there would be Lucy in a glittery short skirt and tube top running out to a car idling in front of their house. Lucy would come home at 4, quietly fitting her key into the lock. Charlotte was always worried. "Where were you?" Charlotte asked, following Lucy into her room. "Were you with a boy? Where do you really go?" Lucy was always full of excuses. "I fell asleep at a friend's," Lucy said. "If you don't believe me, you can call her," Lucy said, but Charlotte never did. The few times Iris woke up wanting to know what was going on, Lucy made it seem innocent. She didn't stink of booze or grass. Her clothes were never torn or stained. "Don't you know the things that can happen to a young girl out at night?" Iris asked her. Lucy sighed. "Why do you always have to think about the worst things?" "Because the worst things happen all the time." "Not to me," Lucy insisted. "Look, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine, and I promise it won't happen again." She yawned, stretching her arms over her head, and left the room. "I'm going to bed." 5 minutes later, Charlotte could hear the soft rumble of her snore. Who knew where Lucy was now, and with whom? Charlotte tried to think where she might be if she were Lucy, but her mind went blank. She could never be Lucy, no matter what she did. Even when they were little, and their parents were alive, Charlotte had been the plain Jane, the coltish girl who was thoughtful and liked to look at the pictures in her books, play the piano, or sing along to her Peter Pan record, unlike her parents, who were always having parties at the house or going out to them. Before Lucy was born, when Charlotte's parents wanted her to dress up and show off to their friends by singing or playing the piano, she got so anxious she couldn't do it. She saw the disappointment on their faces. "Why do you have to be such a mouse?" her mother asked her later. Her father slung his arm around her mother. "How did we two life of the parties end up with a wallflower?" he said, shaking his head. But then there was Lucy, rosy as a peach, with blonde curly hair, and lashes so long they left shadows on her cheeks. Of course, when she was born, Charlotte was jealous. Of course. She saw how her parents doted on Lucy, how they stopped begging Charlotte to come out at parties and instead paraded Lucy, letting everyone hold and admire her. And Lucy loved the attention, laughing and stretching out her hands to whoever was nearby. "What a flirt," their mother said, admiration in her voice. But Charlotte couldn't help herself from falling in love with her baby sister, too. Lucy smiled as soon as Charlotte entered the room. Lucy grabbed her hand and wouldn't let go. Her eyes were always searching Charlotte out. Lucy turned 2, and then 3 and 4, and she tore around the house, singing songs so loudly they were almost a shout. She got into the canister of flour and dumped it on her head, laughing, saying, "Now I have white hair like Daddy," and making their parents laugh too. "You little live wire," their mother said. Charlotte realized there was something she could give Lucy that her parents couldn't. She could protect her from them. She could make sure that every night she was lying in Lucy's bed with her, their legs and arms entangled, so her parents couldn't easily lift Lucy up and make her dance the twist to entertain their friends. She stayed in the backyard when Lucy was playing and their mother was napping in the chaise longue to make sure the big dog next door didn't come over and frighten her. Charlotte began reading stories to Lucy, too, until Lucy began to follow Charlotte around, yearning to hear another. And then their parents died, and Charlotte was terrified. What if she and her sister were split apart? If they were to get another family, wouldn't the family want the pretty towhead one? rather than the one who was so shy she barely...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.